All right, let's jump right in. Today we're diving into luxury living in Hong Kong, specifically CHI residences. You send over a ton of stuff, articles, reviews, even floor plans. Really paints a picture. But the question is, are CHI residences just like fancy apartments, or is there something more?
Well, I think what's interesting is they're really pushing this idea of a whole lifestyle, not just, a place to live.
Yeah, it's like a whole vibe they're going for, right? And speaking of vibe, all the sources keep mentioning this artful design. Like, how do they actually create that luxury feel?
It's all about the details. They talk a lot about blending modern and classic, clean lines with rich textures, maybe some antique pieces thrown in.
So it's luxury, but not like over the top in your face.
Right.
Which, speaking of, I was actually surprised to see they have multiple locations. You wouldn't think a luxury brand would want to spread themselves out like that, right?
Well, it's actually really smart. By having residences near, like, the central business district and even cultural spots like the Hong Kong Museum of Art, they're appealing to a wider range of lifestyles.
So they're tapping into different niches within that luxury market. And on that note, they really emphasize personalized services and amenities. It's not just your standard gym and pool situation.
Yeah, it's more like they want to anticipate your every need, which, at the scale, true personalization is tough. It's got to be more than just having a bunch of options.
Right, it's about understanding individual preferences.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the actual living spaces themselves. They keep mentioning spacious living areas, which I imagine is a big deal in a city like Hong Kong.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, in a place like Hong Kong, space is a luxury in itself. Studies have shown that having enough personal space can actually reduce stress.
It's like mental breathing room. And they talk about how the furniture is all carefully selected to complement the overall aesthetic. Makes me think of those perfect Instagram homes.
Exactly. It's aspirational living. They're saying this is how you elevate your life, from the furniture you sit on to the art on your walls.
It's giving effortless luxury vibes, for sure. But, a lot of luxury brands aren't exactly known for being eco-friendly. So I was curious to see how CHI residences approach sustainability.
Well, they're definitely aware of the importance of sustainability,
Yeah.
especially for a clientele that's globally conscious. They talk about using eco-friendly materials, energy-efficient technologies.
So they're not just looking good, they're doing good too.
Right, and they're also getting residents involved in green living practices. Like they have workshops, events, even a community garden.
That garden's a nice touch. And speaking of technology, they mentioned integrating smart home features. What stood out to me was the emphasis on security.
Oh, yeah. Security is a huge selling point, especially for, high net worth individuals.
Yeah.
But they're really using technology to personalize that experience. Facial recognition access, customized alerts, integration with personal devices. It's next level.
It's not just a security guard at the desk anymore, right? It's
Hmm.
about feeling safe and in control in your own space. Okay, so far I'm intrigued. But luxury isn't just about fancy gadgets and big apartments. What about wellness? How do they cater to that aspect?
Well, they're definitely going beyond the typical gym and pool setup, the dedicated yoga and meditation spaces, on-site spa services. But the emphasis on personalized wellness programs is what really stands out. Access to personal trainers, nutritionists, mindfulness coaches.
It's like having a whole wellness team at your disposal.
And what's really interesting is how they tie this back to community, group fitness classes, wellness workshops, even cooking demonstrations. It's about fostering a culture of wellness.
It's like a whole wellness ecosystem right there in the building.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see why they call it a lifestyle experience. But do people actually like living there? Are they happy?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Marketing materials can say one thing, but what about real residents? Luckily, you provided us with a ton of testimonials and reviews, and the overall sentiment seems pretty positive.
That's good to hear. So what are people saying? What are the main takeaways?
Well, personalized service comes up a lot. Guests rave about the staff, their attentiveness, going above and beyond to meet their needs. One guest even mentioned the staff remembered their birthday and surprised them with a cake.
Wow, that's impressive. That's a level of personalization you don't see very often. What else are people saying?
They also consistently praise the facilities, the cleanliness, the modern design, how everything just works. It seems like CHI Residences really prioritizes creating a top-notch living environment.
That attention to detail definitely makes a difference, especially when you're paying a premium. And what about the location? Are people happy with the convenience factor?
Oh, absolutely. The convenient location is a huge selling point. Easy access to transportation, shopping, dining, entertainment. They've strategically chosen locations that put residents in the heart of it all.
It's that balance of convenience and tranquility that's so appealing, especially in a city like Hong Kong. But let's be real. Luxury comes at a price. We got to talk about the financial aspect of all this.
Sure. Of course, luxury living isn't exactly cheap. Renting or buying at CHI residences is a big financial commitment. But for those who can afford it, the investment potential is worth considering.
Right. Hong Kong's property market is super competitive. So what makes CHI residences stand out as an investment?
Well, for one, they offer both rental and purchase options, so it appeals to different investment strategies. And their prime locations, combined with the luxury amenities and services, make them highly desirable
Her
properties.
source material also mentions something about an Emperor Group serviced apartment block sale. What does that have to do with CHI residences?
Oh, that's interesting. That sale is actually a sign of how dynamic Hong Kong's luxury property market is right now. It shows there's a high demand for these types of properties, and investors are confident in the long-term growth potential.
So investing in a property like CHI residences could be a way to tap into that growth.
Potentially, yeah. But as with any investment, there are risks. The market can fluctuate, interest rates can change, global economic factors come into play. You always got to do your due diligence.
That's always good advice, no matter what you're investing in. Okay, so we've talked about the design, the amenities, the lifestyle, the resident experience, even the investment potential. Anything else we need to consider before we move on?
Hmm. I think we've covered the main tangible aspects, but there's one more dimension we should explore: the intangible benefits of living at CHI residences.
Intangible benefits.
Yeah, things like the sense of community, the feeling of belonging, the peace of mind that comes with living in a safe and secure environment.
Ah, the feel-good factor. That's a bit harder to quantify, isn't it?
It is, but it's no less important. For a lot of people, these intangible benefits are what elevate a living experience, from ordinary to extraordinary.
It's about more than just having a fancy apartment. It's about feeling connected, supported, at ease in your environment.
Exactly, and that's something CHI Residences seems to be very intentionally cultivating.
Well, that's a great segue into our next section, where we'll delve deeper into this idea of community and belonging at CHI residences.
It's interesting how they create that sense of community, right? It's not just about providing shared spaces. They actually curate opportunities for connection.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of random people living in the same building. It's more like um, a micro-society within Hong Kong.
Exactly. And they do it through these exclusive events and workshops, even partnerships with local businesses. Imagine you could be attending a private art exhibition in your building or getting priority access to that new restaurant everyone's raving about.
So it's like a network within a network, giving residents access to unique experiences. And those shared experiences create a natural foundation for connection, right?
Right. And it's not just about networking either. They also focus on personal growth and shared interests like book clubs, wine tastings, guest lectures on things like art or finance.
That's smart. They're catering to that desire for intellectual stimulation,
Yeah.
which is definitely part of that luxury lifestyle. It gives people a reason to connect, right? Like, oh, what did you think of the speaker last night?
Exactly. It's subtle but effective. They're not just throwing amenities at people, they're crafting a community with a shared sense of purpose.
And that purpose goes beyond just luxury.
Right.
They also talk about giving back to the community, initiatives focused on sustainability and social impact.
That's important, especially for, younger, affluent individuals. It's not enough to just live a luxurious life anymore. They want to make a difference.
So CHI Residences is tapping into that desire for purpose-driven luxury.
Exactly. It's about aligning your lifestyle with your values. And for many, those values include sustainability and social responsibility.
So they're creating a space where people can feel good about their choices,
Yeah.
both in terms of luxury and social impact. It's a pretty clever strategy.
It is, and it's definitely resonating. But we should also consider the practical side of living in a community like this. There's bound to be some social pressure, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can't just like walk around in your pajamas all day,
Yeah.
even if your apartment is huge.
Right. There are unspoken rules about how to behave, how to dress, how to interact with other residents.
It's like an unspoken dress code for life. But for some people, that might actually be appealing. It provides structure, takes away the guesswork.
That's true. For some, knowing what to expect can be comforting. It reduces social anxiety, makes it easier to connect.
So it's a trade-off, right? You gain community, but you might lose a bit of individuality.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance. But let's not forget, community can also be a source of support. Imagine having a network of neighbors you can rely on, people who can help you out, or just listen when you need someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's like a built-in social safety net.
Oh,
which can be invaluable in a city like Hong Kong.
Exactly. It's about that sense of belonging, knowing you're not alone.
Okay, so we've talked about community, but let's circle back to the more tangible benefits. We touched on sustainability earlier, but I'd love to dig a little deeper into the eco-friendly features they offer.
Absolutely. This is where they really try to stand out. They're incorporating sustainability into every aspect of the building.
One article mentioned using reclaimed wood and recycled materials in construction. That's pretty cool. It's unique and good for the environment.
Right, and they're going even further. Energy-efficient appliances, lighting, smart technology to monitor energy consumption.
Smart technology, like how does that work?
Well, imagine a system that adjusts the temperature and lighting based on whether you're in the room. So if you're not there, the lights turn off, the temperature adjusts to save energy.
Wow, it's like the building is thinking for you, keeping you comfortable while minimizing your impact.
Exactly. And they're also using renewable energy sources,
Mm.
things like solar panels and geothermal energy.
So they're really committed to this whole sustainability thing.
It seems so, and it makes sense from a business perspective, too. Consumers, especially in the luxury market, are demanding sustainable practices.
It's not just about saving the planet anymore. It's a selling point.
Right, and CHI Residences is positioning themselves as a leader in that area, showing that luxury and sustainability can go hand in hand.
They're saying you can have your cake and eat it too, and it'll be sustainably sourced organic cake.
I like that analogy. And they're getting residents involved, too.
Yeah.
Recycling programs, composting, even community gardens.
So it's a community effort, not just an eco-friendly building,
Exactly. It's about adopting a sustainable lifestyle.
which is a powerful message.
Yeah.
It shows they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
Oh.
Okay, we've talked about tangible and intangible benefits. But what about the technology? They keep mentioning smart home features. But what does that actually mean for residents?
This is where things get really interesting. They're using cutting-edge technology to enhance the entire living experience. It goes way beyond just a fancy thermostat.
Okay, give me an example.
Imagine a system that learns your preferences over time. It adjusts the lighting and temperature based on your habits, plays your favorite music when you come home, even anticipates your grocery needs and orders them for you.
Whoa, that's like something out of a sci-fi movie. A personal assistant built into your home.
Exactly, and it's not just about convenience. It's about creating a seamless, personalized experience.
So the technology is working behind the scenes to make your life better.
Right, and it also enhances safety and security.
We talked about the personalized security features before. What else are they doing?
Biometrics for access control. No more keys or cards. Sophisticated surveillance systems. AI to detect potential threats.
So it's like having a virtual security guard watching over you.
Even better, the system learns your patterns and routines, so it can detect anomalies and alert you if something seems off.
That's incredible. Like the building is actually looking out for you.
Exactly. It's about creating a living environment that's not just luxurious, but also incredibly safe and secure.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Community, sustainability, technology, all the different benefits. It's clear they're offering more than just a place to live.
You're right. It's a whole lifestyle package, tailored to a very specific type of person.
But before we wrap up, I want to get your take on something. We've focused on the positives. But are there any downsides? Anything potential residents should be aware of?
That's a great question, and an important one. I think one potential downside is the lack of privacy. You're constantly surrounded by people in a community like this.
You can't really just disappear into your apartment.
Right, there's this pressure to be on all the time, which can be exhausting for some people.
It's like you're always performing.
Exactly, and that can lead to stress. So if you value solitude and privacy, this might not be the best fit.
That's a good point. And it brings up another potential issue, the cost. We talked about investment potential, but living there is expensive.
Oh, definitely. It's a significant financial commitment. And it's not just the rent or mortgage. There are utilities, maintenance fees, all those added expenses.
And then there's that pressure to keep up appearances. You might feel like you need to buy things you don't really need.
That's a real risk. It's easy to get caught up in the consumerism. It's important to be mindful of your spending.
So living at CHI Residences is a bit of a double-edged sword. You get incredible amenities, a supportive community, a lifestyle designed for ease and enjoyment. But you sacrifice some privacy, deal with social pressure, and make a big financial commitment.
Exactly. You have to weigh the pros and cons carefully.
Well, I think we've done a good job of exploring those pros and cons today.
We have, and I think our listeners have a lot to think about now.
But ultimately, the decision is up to each individual.
It is. It's about your priorities, your lifestyle, your vision of the good life.
And everyone's vision is different.
Exactly. But I think we can agree CHI Residences offer something special, a unique blend of luxury, convenience, community, and sustainability.
Whether that appeals to you is a personal choice,
Yeah,
but it's definitely worth considering.
absolutely.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into CHI Residences. Thanks for joining us on this exploration.
It's been great discussing this with you.
And to our listeners, we hope you've gained some valuable insights.
If you're thinking about CHI Residences, do your research. Reach out to them directly.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep those questions coming.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.
It's interesting how they managed to make it aspirational, but also attainable. They're selling a dream, but they're also delivering on practical stuff.
Yeah, that's what makes them successful, I think. It's not just about the flashy stuff. There's substance behind it. The quality, the design, the service.
And got it all covered. And speaking of covered, one thing we didn't really talk about is the variety they offer. Different sizes, layouts, even price points within that luxury category.
Right, they're not just targeting one specific type of person. There are options for individuals, couples, families, even multi-generational living.
So they're recognizing that even within luxury, people have different needs.
Yeah, exactly. Some people want that huge penthouse with the amazing view, while others might prefer something smaller and more intimate.
And it seems like they've considered those different needs at every level.
Definitely, there are units for entertaining, for working from home, even units that cater to specific hobbies.
It's like they've thought of every possible luxury lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to that idea of choice. It's not just a product, it's a whole menu of options.
Exactly. They're saying, here's a curated collection, pick what fits your ideal life.
And that ideal might change over time, right? You might start in a studio apartment as a single professional, then move to a bigger place as your family grows.
And they seem to understand that. Flexible lease terms, options for upgrading or downsizing, even the possibility of transferring between locations.
So it's not just a transaction, it's a relationship, a partnership that grows with you.
It shows they get it, you know? Luxury clients are discerning, they want options, they want customization.
So they're playing the long game,
Yeah.
building a loyal customer base.
People who see it as an extension of themselves, their brand.
It's about belonging to a certain tribe.
Sharing values and aspirations.
And that exclusivity goes beyond just the physical space, right?
Absolutely. It's the access, the connections, the opportunities.
It's about what doors it opens for you.
Expanding your horizons, enriching your experiences.
Okay, I think we've done a pretty thorough exploration of CHI Residences.
Yeah.
Design, amenities, community, sustainability, the financial side of it, even the potential downsides.
Yeah, we went deep.
And hopefully our listeners have a better understanding of what it's all about.
They have a lot to consider now.
But at the end of the day, the decision is a personal one.
It is. It comes down to your own priorities, your lifestyle.
Your vision of what a good life looks like.
And that's different for everyone.
There's no right or wrong answer.
But I think we can all agree they're offering something special. That blend of luxury, convenience, community, and sustainability.
It's all about elevating the human experience.
Absolutely.
Whether that appeals to you is up to you. But it's worth checking out.
For sure.
Well, I think that wraps up our deep dive into CHI Residences. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been great exploring this with you.
And to our listeners, we hope this has given you some valuable insights into luxury living in Hong Kong.
If you're thinking about making a move to CHI Residences, do your research, contact them directly.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those questions coming.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.